guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm back like I said I would be. This is the second Q-related news for May 10th, and it is still Friday, May 10th, for another half hour at least. Well, I guess more like 40 minutes. Anyway, I was watching that intro there, and I was thinking to myself, I need a new intro. I'm tired of that. I need something snazzy, like maybe some music or something. I don't know. I need something else. Okay, and now we're going to just pick up from where we left off. But you know something? I found something that I've been meaning to bring to you guys because it's what many people call residue. See, this is my video uploading that I just did. Anyway, what I'm going to show you something because I don't know if you guys are aware of the Mandela effect. And to tell you the truth, for the longest time, I just discounted it because I thought that the examples that they were bringing were ridiculous. But it seems to me when they got to the JFK and all the photos now are showing 6 people in the car. And that is something that even though, you know, I didn't witness it, it was before my time, but that's something that's still imprinted in my brain. And for most people, especially if they were, you know, young or teenager, whatever, during the time, I think it's like stamped into your brain permanently. It's kind of like 9/11. If you ask somebody, where were you on 9/11? They know where they were. They know what they were doing. They know how they reacted. They know. And it's the same thing with JFK. So the Mandela effect, if you don't know what it is, it's they call it the Mandela effect because it seems that people are split on when they remember Mandela dying. And so they're finding that there's a lot of things in the past that we thought was one way that is no longer that way. For example, Sally Fields, remember when she got up to receive some sort of award and she said, you like me, you really like me. She no longer says that. And Star Wars, when Luke Skywalker says, Darth Vader says, Luke, I am your father. Well, he no longer says that. Now, I saw that. I remember that. Everybody remembers that. But it no longer says that. And there are all sorts of these, what they call Mandela effects, because you'll go back and you'll go, wait a minute, that was never like that. Like the Bernstein Bears are now the Bernstein Bears. So anyway, I found this because everything I had been finding on JFK showed 6 people in the car. And I thought, well, that's not how I remember it. And I remember going somewhere with my parents because we traveled a lot. My mom taught. In the summers, we traveled. And so I'd been all over the place. And my mom always wanted to take us to someplace educational. And she would teach us about history or whatever from where we were. And which is one of the best educations you can ever get, by the way. But anyway, I remember seeing the car, the JFK car, and it was not a 6-seater. Like, it was the actual car. Now, I can't remember where that was, but I'll have to look that up on the internet. But anyway, I remember seeing it. So it just, that to me has cemented in my mind that there is something to the Mandela effect. So I found this, and when you find something that contradicts everything else, it's called residue. It's residue from the change. So this is residue of JFK's car. No, not there. Here. Now, I know this is small, but you can clearly see there are not 6 people in this car. Now, this is right after he's been shot for the second time, and he slumps down over his wife. Apparently, I read that there was a piece of his skull that was blown away, and in her mind, it was, I have to get that piece. That's why she was crawling on the hood. But here is the president, and there is the first lady, and there are the two. And having 6 people in the car doesn't make sense. So try it out for yourself. Go look at the recent pictures, and you tell me, because they all have 6 people in the car. And yet I found this residue, and that's what it clearly is. It's residue of 4 people in the car. So explain this to me, someone, please. I know this isn't Q related, but explain it to me, because it's messing with my mind, man. All right, now from that, let's jump on over to here, because I think you guys need to hear this if you haven't already. And this is from Ernie Plumley, and he says, I want to remind or show first-time viewers what Barack Berry actually said, the first and last president to be considered illegitimate. He was not born in Hawaii, as documentation has shown that his birth certificate is fake, and of course we know that. But let's take a listen to this.
3 years ago, I visited Kenya as the first sitting American president to come from Kenya. And when I was president...
Yeah, so he says right there, he was the first sitting president to come from Kenya. So he was born in Kenya, right? So interesting. Yeah, thought you'd want to see that. Well, the first video is almost uploaded, in case you're interested. All right, and so we've looked at this, and I want to show you this from Mike Huckabee. My kitten, or well, it's really technically he is still a kitten, but he's getting huge. But he is chewing on my feet, not painfully, but just a weird cat. It's a weird cat. All right, rumors are that Donald Trump will rename Gitmo Comey Island. I love it. Like, seriously, that's classic Trump. And will use it to house the dirty cops, intel agents, and co-conspirators who used lies to illegally spy on a president, conspiracy, cover-up, and attempted coup. Katie barred the door. Yeah, Comey Island. I love it. It's kind of like Gilligan's Island, but, because, they never got off the island. I don't know. Maybe they did in the last one. I don't know. But anyway, it's kind of like, you go for a tour, but you never get off. So Comey Island, I like that. Won't be getting any hot dogs there, though. Not like Coney Island. All right. Well, they might serve hot dogs. I don't know what they serve at Gitmo. All right. Oops, what did I just do here? I don't know. There we go. All right, let's come down here. And apparently, I included this twice because once was not enough. So let's get rid of that. Now, I think that you might like to look at this. Well, maybe not, but... New. Austrian government closes 7 mosques and expels 60 imams, says this is just the beginning. Now, this is Austria, and I think, places are having enough. They're getting, it's like enough is enough. These people are not coming to assimilate into our culture. These people are coming to eradicate our culture, and that is the truth. And they will tell you themselves that that's what they're there to do. They will take over. And especially in places that have traditionally been white. And I say that only because the white population is decreasing because we're not having as many children. And that's just a fact. Has nothing to do with race. It's just a fact. And there's probably many reasons for that, one of which is declining fertility. The fertility rates are dropping at a huge very, very rapid pace. But anyway, Austria has now banned mosques and expelling the Muslims. So
mosques in Austria will be shuttered and up to 40 imams expelled. It's part of what the country's right-wing government calls just the beginning of a push against Islam.
Parallelgesellschaften, der politische Islam und Radikalisierungstendenzen, die haben in unserem Land keinen Platz.
So it says Kurz has already banned wearing the face covering burqa and banned immigrants from purchasing guns. Friday, he announced a severe cut in welfare benefits to Austrian citizens who are not proficient in speaking German and banned welfare benefits to immigrants for the first 5 years. That to me sounds like a very good plan. Now, I don't know, in America, I don't know if that would work because there are a lot of people that come over that are not immediately proficient in English, but I don't think that they should be banned for that reason. But to put a ban on welfare for the first 5 years is not a bad idea. So this is interesting. I'm sorry that the sound is so low. I can't do anything about that. And I guess that's it. So I just thought that was interesting. So let's go. I wish that would hurry up. It's taking forever to process the other video. All right, now you gotta see this. No, really, you gotta. You're not gonna believe it. Oh, maybe you will. AOC not only says the government should be in control of banking, but she says that it should be done through the Postal Service. All right. Reminder, the U.S. Postal Service lost $3.6 billion in the 2018 fiscal year. Yeah, I don't think we want to give it to the post office, but look at these two. They look very cozy together. I'm just wondering if he's going to announce AOC as his running mate. That would be something to behold. All right, let's give a listen.
What we can then say is, A, we should have a non-for-profit public option for basic banking services, and we should be piloting these projects through the U.S. Postal Service or in any other number of ways.
There you have it. Yeah. Now, do they not sound like they're cozy together? They got their little notebooks out and everything, and wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all, because she is very popular. I know, but she is. I mean, now let me rephrase that. She's popular with a certain populace. The left, mainstream media is certainly favors her. Twitter certainly favors her. Say something about AOC is the quickest way to get yourself banned. Absolutely. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but that would be fun, don't you think? Oh, it's up now. It would be fun. I'm just saying, it would be. I don't care what anybody says. And I think I just want to see what Trump would do with that. Because he'd have a heyday. He would. All right, now this is something that will just kind of boggle your mind, maybe, or maybe not. Yeah. I don't even like seeing these two side by side. I'm just saying, I don't, because they are as different as oil and water. And when you put oil and water together, well, they just don't mix. And it's the same with these two. Now, it says, oh, hell no, Stormy Daniels viciously insults Melania Trump. And she did. Adult film star Stormy Daniels viciously attacked First Lady Melania Trump with a vulgar insult after one Twitter user called her a porn star. Daniels took to Twitter on Thursday and responded to someone who wrote to her, I will never forgive Stormy for trashing our POTUS. She colluded with the Dems and Michael Avenatti. And in response, Daniels launched into a vulgar tirade against the First Lady with very harsh language. Because I give a flying F about your forgiveness, excuse me while I cry myself to sleep, maybe the first twat needs her jacket pressed. The I don't care one, haha. Because of the offensive language, ILMF will not include the actual tweet in this post. It can be viewed here if you wish to see it, and I have seen it. Trendingpolitics.com. Okay, no, that's not what we needed. Okay, as noted by The Guardian, Daniels recently went after the Trump family while she attempted to be a comedian last weekend at the stand-up New York Comedy Club in Manhattan, New York. She called her alleged sexual encounter with Trump in 2006, when he was already married to Melania Trump, the worst 90 seconds of my life. At one point, she lamented that the mainstream media often referred to her as a former porn star. I'm not former, she yelped. I'm not retired or washed up. I've directed over 100 movies. You call them movies? Okay. Including 3 of the 5 most expensive porn movies ever made, and I wrote, produced, directed, and starred in them. She added, and I've been stripping for 20 years. Well, there's something to be proud of. The only people who call me Stephanie are my mother and the IRS, and I hate them both, she said. In response to one question, she said that no, she never had sexual chemistry with her former lawyer, Michael Avenatti, who once spoke of saving the Democratic Party and bringing down Trump, but is now facing criminal charges. He's too short for me, and he thought he was prettier, and that's a huge problem for me, she said. Yeah. So, there you go. And she did attack Melania viciously, and that's not the only attack she had on her. She was basically saying, that Melania just married him because he was a billionaire, whatever. It's the same old, same old. She doesn't come up with anything new. And I don't even believe they had sex, because she told one of her closest friends at that time that she didn't. Now, women usually tell their best friends everything. They do. And so I think if she had, she would be, wanting to brag about it to someone, right? Oh, I slept with Donald Trump. Seriously. And I don't believe it. All right. Now, let's look at this from Rudy Giuliani. Let's see which CNN, Washington Post, NBC ignore longer the mounting evidence of Comey's wrongdoing or the Ukrainian investigation of Dems conspiring with Ukrainian officials to dig up dirt on Trump and Manafort. One already found guilty trying to get new president-elect to squash investigation. And this is not related, but this from Derek Utley. Facebook's independent fact-checker system is so skewed and violative of free speech, it's absolutely insane. And they use this as a mechanism to cut your distribution of content. What happened to the world being allowed to have an opinion? Well, maybe there are parts of the world in which you can have an opinion, but as it stands now in America, if you are conservative, you cannot have that opinion. You are not. If you are liberal, you're allowed, as long as you are towing party lines there and going along with everything that they say, the mainstream media gods, then you're okay. But the minute you divert from that path at all, you're cut. So, all right, and wanted to show you this. I should have put this up with the Obama stuff. This is interesting. Now, let me see if I can get this. No, I can't. Let me see. I'm trying to get this bigger because I know you tiny phone people. I know it's not that phone people are tiny. It's that you're on your smartphones, and that is a problem. But let's look at this.
Layer with a separate date. It just doesn't make any sense. So we'll turn that off.
This is his supposed
Zoom out a little so you can see the whole doggone thing, because there's some interesting stuff down here. We have the certification here. The state registrar here, Alvin T. Onaya, PhD. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. What happens when we turn off this next layer down? Well, Alvin's entire certification disappears. And I wonder what we're going to see behind that certification. We're going to see white erasure of the otherwise original green herringbone pattern, which was on the blank form of the original birth certificate from 1961, I think it was. I'm having a hard time keeping my dates straight because all the dates have been altered and manipulated on this document. We'll go down to this second to last layer and turn it off. And lo and behold, the whole stinking thing has been manipulated and edited. Look at this. If this is not an absolute mockery of justice, if this is not an absolute snub of the nose in the American people's face, I don't know what else is. The entire document, with the exception of a couple of signatures, has been edited and manipulated, and the herringbone background has been erased out and turned white for effect. And probably so that they could slyly insert the data into this document that they found appropriate for their purposes.
And, you know, I'm a graphic artist, so to me this makes perfect sense. But if you're not a Photoshop aficionado, then, you know, when somebody does a document like this, and this was altered in Photoshop, and they did it in layers, and which means, you know, you can turn off the different layers because it's just layers on top of layers on top of layers. And if you are a graphic artist, that's what you do. You might fix a shadow over here, and that can be a layer, and you might do something over here, and that's a layer. And so that is what they've done here. But it's obviously a fake. It's obviously a fake. And we just heard Obama saying he was born in Kenya. So, yeah. But yet, people will still say that you are some crazy conspiracy theorist if you doubt the official line, just like everything else. So, anyway. Now, let's go on. Just thought you might find that a little interesting. All right. Now, this is interesting as well because if you are on Twitter, you probably did or have at least seen some of James Wood's tweets, but he has been missing from Twitter because they kicked him off, and now he has stated that he will not come back. It says your account at Real James Woods has been locked for violating the Twitter rules, specifically for violating our rules against abusive behavior. You may not engage in the targeted harassment of someone or incite other people to do so. We consider abusive behavior an attempt to harass, intimidate, or silence someone else's voice. Oh, there's the pot calling the kettle black. And what he got kicked off for was quoting somebody else. Actually, if you try to kill the king, you better not miss. Who is that targeting or harassing? Is that harassing someone? Because I don't know who. And is that inciting other people to harass this person? There's no person mentioned in it. It says hang them all, hashtag hang them all. So that could be, I guess, construed as whatever. But really ridiculous stuff compared to what the left gets away with. Of course, Twitter doesn't inform his followers at Real James Woods has received the following email. And Twitter demanded, this is from James Wood, Twitter demanded that I rescind my tweet paraphrasing Emerson. Woods said in a statement to the Daily Wire, it now seems they have chosen to delete that tweet from my account without my permission. Until free speech is allowed on Twitter, I will not be permitted to participate in our democracy with my voice. As long as Jack Dorsey remains the coward he seems to be, my Twitter days are in the past. James refused to delete the quote as well. He should have. They're saying he should have refused to delete it. The double standards for conservatives on Twitter is absolutely ridiculous and completely transparent. We all see you, Jack. You must be stupid to think we don't. Twitter actually cannot remove content on their own due to copyright law. James Woods owns that tweet once he publishes it online. Just a fun fact. Maybe it won't be the last we hear about this. I do know Twitter will miss James Woods. He was a proud, strong voice for all of us, and he's been silenced like so many others. Yeah, for sure. I absolutely loved his tweets. They were just very witty, deep, I don't know. There's a lot of words to describe his tweets, but I enjoyed them immensely, and I miss having him there. I've been, checking to see if his account's been restored, hoping that it would be, but now I understand that he has, called it quits, and he's not going to remove that tweet, and he shouldn't. He shouldn't. So there you go. Now, all right, I want to get into something here, but I'm telling you, this is a deep rabbit trail. And it is a rabbit trail because I think that the deeper you dig into it, the more there is to find. And some people were saying that my lettering, since I'm using this new computer, is a lot smaller and they can't really read things. So I've tried to make it bigger for you all. Now, let's take a look at this first. Now, this is about that huge bust they did and finding that cache of weapons that really was beyond what any normal person would keep. It says, people, Holmby Hills isn't just upscale, it's effing it's effing palatial. Go search images for Holmby Hills, which is where this house was, and ask yourself, WTF was a secret massive gun depot doing here? Yeah. What the F was a secret massive gun depot doing there in this neighborhood of palatial homes that are run in not just millions, these are very expensive homes, extremely expensive homes. Now, I want to go through this because here is the picture. Now, look at this man here, right here. He's dwarfed next to all these guns. Like, we're not talking a few guns here. We're not talking, let's store up our guns in case they come and take them or whatever. We're talking, hundreds, possibly hundreds of rifles, other firearms uncovered in ATF bust at home in upscale Holmby Hills area of LA. Okay, well, I'm sure you've all heard that by now because it's getting to be older news, but not real old, but not the freshest either. So I wanted to come down here because this person has an interesting thread. It says listings offered homes for sale at an average price of more than $17 million this week in the neighborhood, which is part of LA's Platinum Triangle. Holmby Hills is perhaps best known as the home of the Playboy Mansion. And isn't it the Playboy Mansion that has all the underground tunnels and everything in it? Just saying. And then it says, cops got a tip that someone was in the house selling and manufacturing weapons. 3 SUVs in the driveway, and we know at least 2 are registered to a Cynthia Beck, who also owned the home and may still own it. We do not know if there is any connection between her and the weapons. So here is Michael Jackson's home over here. Of course, he is no longer with us. The Playboy Mansion, and he is no longer with us. And this is where the gun bust is, and this is Jay-Z and Beyonce's home. So we know that this is an elite neighborhood. All right, let's come down further. And it said the curious case of Cynthia Beck's abandoned Malibu and Bel Air mansions. But one thing is patently obvious, thanks to records, she presides over a substantial property portfolio and owns at least 20 LA homes. And here is 2. She's abandoned her Malibu and Bel Air mansion. This is 1, and it's completely abandoned. Why anyone would abandon a house in either Malibu or Bel Air, I don't know. I mean, you would think if you no longer wanted it, you would sell it. But maybe there's a reason why she wouldn't want to sell it. Maybe there's things there that I don't know. Anyway, it says Paradise Cove in Malibu is perhaps the most scenic beach in the city, blessed with a broad shore. The sand here has a soft consistency. Anyway, I'm not going to go to the actual article. He is just placing that in there so we could see a picture of the home. And then we have J. Paul Getty was a naturalized British American petrol industrialist and the patriarch of the Getty family. He founded the Getty Oil Company, and in 1957, Fortune magazine named him the richest living American. In 1999, it was revealed he had a mistress named Cynthia Beck, and that was her home that they raided. While the 1966 Guinness Book of World Records named him as the world's richest private citizen, worth an estimated 1.2 billion, approximately 7.2 billion in 2018, at his death he was worth more than 6 billion, approximately 21 billion in 2018. A book published in 1996 ranked him as the 67th richest American who ever lived, based on his wealth as a percentage of the concurrent gross national product. So, yeah, this guy, that was her, she was his mistress, and her house was where they found this enormous cache of weapons. And this is one of her other houses has an empty underground bank vault and was abandoned with a whole sea of belongings inside: children's toys, old receipts, various documents, even pieces of artwork, all left to potentially rot, as if the family's exit was sudden and unexpected. And a quick search on YouTube reveals there are a whole slew of popular videos filmed at this house, all taken by explorers or curious looky-loos. At least one of the vids sports millions of views. Wow. Her house was raided in January 2001. Ms. Beck paid a non-celebrity couple $2,600,000 for a 0.89 acre spread located on one of Bel Air's busiest streets. Although the 1930 residence is very large, it's not really a mansion, more like a sprawling ranch house. And that is her current $7 million residence, and I believe that is the residence where the gun cache was found. In January 2001, Ms. Beck paid a okay, we've already read you that. And of note about this Bel Air house is that Ms. Beck was involved in a lengthy and extremely costly disagreement with her next door neighbors, apparently stemming from a boundary dispute. In 2009, she was ordered to pay the couple next door a whopping $6 million in damages over a boundary dispute. Pretty wild. All right. Why someone would neglect a property that could easily fetch a small fortune on the open market is a mystery to us. Why continue to pay property taxes? Ms. Beck's total tax bill is well into the six figures each and every year for unused homes. By the way, no one knows where she is. Another of her houses is practically next door to Beyonce and Jay-Z's 88 million mega compound. In fact, this property can only be accessed by driving right behind the sports court on their estate. Okay, something seriously big happened today with this bust. TMZ says Cynthia Beck wasn't there during the raid and was reportedly in Europe, but nobody ever sees this effing lady when she's in town either. She's the former mistress of one of the richest men in the world, and the feds just found an assload of guns at her house. She lets all her properties go to SHIT, yet she pays all the taxes on them and refuses to sell them. Yeah, there's something really not right in all this, and there is a big, huge, humongous story here. There really is. Now, what it is and whether people like myself that love to dig into this kind of stuff can get to the bottom of it, I don't know. But it sure is fascinating if you ask me. She says, or he says rather, Julian's Rum, am I alone in thinking Cynthia Beck might have them in her name, but is just a front for something far more sinister, like a cabal organizing, stockpiling weapons for attacks? Now that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Now, yesterday, Trump tweeted about big fireworks. Was he winking at us about today's raid? I don't know. It's possible. My thoughts exactly. Sounds like she's dead and other people are just managing her money and pretending. That could be. Could this be connected to Fast and Furious? Well, look what just hit. The House Oversight Committee is settling a long-running Obama-era subpoena fight with the DOJ over documents regarding Operation Fast and Furious. Both sides basically agree to disagree and end the litigation. Very interesting. And let's come down here. It says, folks, something very big happened today with this raid. Very big. I can't thread anymore or my thumbs will fall off, but perhaps, possibly, maybe it's happening. And it says this place is a masterful place to do honeypot takedowns or to dirty up people. Senators, judges, celebs, anyone, everyone. High money area people let their guards down and step out and boom, now being twisted into compliance. And by the way, remember when Q was talking, I don't know if it was Q or somebody or an anon was saying that there are 4 families that run California. Well, the Gettys is one of them. So very interesting. And of course, we just had the Chinese takedown of the port in Long Beach, which Q had mentioned. Is that related? Is that how the weapons were coming? I don't know, but it's possible. All right, and it says, I remember from a few summers ago. It was just down the street from my parents. The buzz about a presidential visit started building in the North Laguna neighborhood around LaDroit Street last Thursday. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but let's go on to the next link here, because I've got 3 links here that all have really fascinating information. Whoops, hang on here. All right, now, let me come down. Somebody put this, okay. Abandoned LA elite's house being explored by young men. I found Baphomet on the walls, which is often used to represent the devil. Well, it does represent the devil. These people are satanic. A house owned by Cynthia Beck. By the way, another house of hers was raided today with 1,000 guns found. So, and I am going to go out on Twitter and try and look for this because I want to see this. But there is that is a Baphomet head. And then we've got, here's one of Cynthia Beck and Getty's 3 daughters on Instagram. Note the picture of her with horns and tonguing with a boyfriend was Christmas Eve. And let me see, it says, speaking in tongues with the ever so talented. Okay, no, I won't read that, never mind. I think I found a picture of Cynthia Beck. Kendall posted a pic of her younger sis, Alice. Why did she choose Alice over Alexandria? Sarah Beck, who lives in Japan, I followed the link and she posted a pic of her, Kendall, Nicolette, and their mother, Cynthia. Ding ding, it says. Hey, is that Bernie Sanders? Well, it looks a lot like him, if it isn't. All right. They're here, by the way, and these are their Facebook accounts, which probably have been taken down or privatized by now. And it says Cynthia's dad, young Cynthia. What else do we have? And it says, is he best friends with Getty? Dr. Robert Beck garlic is a poison, must watch. I don't own this video. Okay, I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff on YouTube out there. And I have just started looking into this, because there's a lot of stuff out there. And I just kind of wanted to bring it to you guys because you may have or find things that, forward it on if you do, anything interesting. And this from the granddaughter's page, Freudian slit. Today, my father, depicted here as the Emperor Tarot card, lost his very best friend in the world. They'd known each other since they were about 12. I don't think I have a single photo in my possession of Bill and me. After all, I'm the black sheep bastard my mom threw out on the streets at 17 and have almost none of my possessions from that age or earlier. let alone any photos. I loved Bill, and I still do. So that is very interesting. I guess that is talking about Bill Getty that died. And let me see. Interesting stuff. Makes you wonder, WTF, what's going on? Could it be a simple black market arms operation or something far more sinister? With all those strange connections, anything is possible. Oh yes, I would say so. Now, I've got another interesting thread here to show you. And I would say it is probably, well, they're all interesting, but this is really interesting. Oh, Gordon Getty. It's Gordon Getty, not Bill Getty, so I don't know who Bill is. Gordon Getty had a mistress, Cynthia Beck, and mom of his 3 illegitimate daughters. Her LA home was raided for a ton of guns, had a special Hans Christian Andersen themed 85th birthday party December 2019. And it says, notice the dining tables in a pool Nancy Pelosi attended. Well, naturally, because the Gettys and Pelosi's, 2 of the 4 families that run California. So that doesn't surprise me at all that Pelosi would go, but wonder if Pelosi knew anything about this gun stash. Don't know. Gordon Getty's 85th birthday soiree shared with granddaughter a fairy tale come true. And this was from December 22nd of 2018. And let me see here. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. All right, so that is Gordon Getty, and that is his granddaughter. And this is a pool, which obviously has been emptied, and they have the tables set up in there. And this is a cake, actually, in the shape of a book. Nothing too nefarious there. It says Nancy Pelosi attended Gordon Getty's 85th birthday party. The dining area was arranged in the theme of the ugly duckling in the swimming pool. I'm going to make this a little smaller so I can see it. All right. The tables seemed too small for the 6 bucket-like chairs around them. A certain underground queue photo came to mind. Yes, I remember that. The one that was taken on Epstein Island, one of the rooms where they were, can't say it, but you know what I mean. I hope it's this one. They are noshing on something that one should never nosh on. All right, and here's, have you ever had a dinner party in a pool sitting on bucket-like chairs? Pelosi attended Gordon Getty's birthday party that did. Yeah, they are bucket chairs, and that is weird. It's almost like they're covered with something to keep, like it's almost, they do have a covering over these seats. And the fact that it's held in a pool, I guess you could make any mess you wanted, and nobody would really be a lot easier to clean up. And the table seems covered as well with the same sort of material. I don't know. Have you ever had a dinner party in a pool sitting on bucket-like chairs? No, I haven't. Personally, no. Is it me, or does the furniture look like it's wrapped in plastic foil? Silver plastic foil. Yes, it does. That's exactly what it looks like to me. It looks like it's wrapped in thick plastic foil. I'm feeling sick to my stomach. Are you? A little. And why eat in a pool for a dinner party? Yes, that's a good question. And kind of cramped for 6 plates. It is, to tell you the truth, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of these buckets around these teeny tiny tables. Odd. I think it's odd. Too many bucket-like chairs, small tables. Yeah, I don't think you could put 6 plates on there. Could you? I don't think you could. Maybe. They were small plates. All right, and let's go down because there's more. Oopsie. Didn't mean to go there. All right. Okay, and it says threads here on daughters, Beck's dad, Clinton, Newsom, more. And Newsom is one of the other families that read. And I think this might be one of the ones we already looked at. So let me go down here. Okay, let's look at this. I don't want to miss anything juicy. That might give us a little bit more information. Yeah, this is the one we already looked at. Okay, so a lot going on here. And I don't know, but this looks to be a very fascinating rabbit trail. And I don't know, because it seems to me I'm one of those people that when I get a bone, I'm like a bulldog and I'm not going to let that go. So I'm not sure whether to really dive in or not, because I get myself too wrapped up, and there are certain things that are upsetting to even investigate, like what is being suggested here. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this something that you want me to look into further and bring to you, or bring you any interesting connections or what have you? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. I figured that you would probably be interested in this, but let me know, because I certainly don't want to waste time on something that nobody wants to see or nobody cares about. So, all right. Now, let's go back. I think that is it, though, if I'm not mistaken. I think we have covered the most important things that I wanted to get covered today. And we already have looked at that, the Comey Island. So, yes, we have covered it all. Well, we've covered all that I had pulled out for us to take a look at today. So, that is that. And I hope that you have a wonderful evening. I wish I could have ended on a little happier note. I mean, I don't know, with some kittens playing or puppies or something. My gosh, I want to get all that stuff out of my head. Come on, come on. Don't turn me off yet. Seriously, don't turn me off yet. Let's go here, actually, and let's go here. No, wait, hang around. Hang on. Because I can't leave that in your head. So leave this in your head. Okay, that sucks. All right, let's take a look at this one. 17 million views, so this has got to be good. It was. Ah! I hate when that happens. I know. You didn't come here to watch cat videos, but I just wanted to get that out of your out of your head. Oh. Okay. All right. I had to get that. I had to laugh a little bit because sometimes that stuff can really get to me. So this is, it's got 172 million views. So it's called Try Not to Laugh Challenge, Funny Cat and Dog Vines, compilation 2017. So I'm just giving a shout out to them. Whoever put this together, it is funny. So, anyway, I won't make you, subject you to me watching a video. I mean, that's just silly, but I did want to get that out. All right. That's it. I hope you guys will return tomorrow. I'll be here, same bat time and same bat channel. So I hope you will join me because it gets lonely sitting here by myself. It's Friday night and I ain't got nobody. So there you go. All right. So have a good evening. Stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, and Always seek truth because deception bites.